Hey everyone, it's Lisa, and welcome to Make It Monday. Today is week 35 in my series on dynamic duos, where I'm teaching you 2 projects using the same products. Today I'm featuring the stamp set called Sweet Stuff, along with an embossing folder. Let's get started. It's a simple card, but it sure is cute, isn't it? I've embossed the back panel with the lovely lace embossing folder. I've also colored in the flower and the bird using some new ink colors. This is the Hello Honey, the Tangelo Twist, and the Wild Wasabi, which is an existing color in our palette. Added some designer paper and these adorable clips. The clips are from the basic hodgepodge assortment, and I really like them because there's a great variety of different images. And I just want to pull out a couple and give you a glimpse of what's included. You're going to get a star, a tiny paper clip, the heart that I've used here, and a real flat metal, almost aluminum type arrow. The great thing about these is they're very lightweight and they're very flat, so they're not going to create any bulk in your cards when you mail them. The dynamic duo to this is really going to size up how I put this card together, so I'm going to skip over to it right away. And here it is, a really cute candy holder. These would be great for showers, graduations, or birthday parties. But let me show you how I created it, as it uses the same product in the first project I just shared. You're going to begin with a piece of Whisper White cardstock that's cut 2 inches by 9 7/8. You're going to start by using the Scalloped Tag Topper Punch, and you're going to run it in the track. Now remember, you have to make sure that this is just a smidgen under 2 inches for it to fit in here. Make sure it's all the way to the back, and we are going to punch on both ends. The next thing you'll do is start by folding it in half. Use your bone folder, get a nice crease here, and then we're going to do some additional scoring. For that, I'm going to use my Stampin' Trimmer. And what you're going to want is you're going to want a 1/2 inch score line on either side of this crease. And I'm going to show you an easy way to do that. Once you have it scored, especially if you use your bone folder, it's going to be easy for you to line it up right here in the track. So the score line that you first made, where it's in half, goes here. Now you're going to notice that the 1/2 inch mark is here. So I'm going to slide my crease just visually underneath the 1/2 inch mark. Using the light colored blade, I'm going to score. Now I'm going to go back to the center, that's the original center, and the 1/2 inch mark here is here. So I'm going to move that original crease to there, and I'm going to score. So the center now is going to be inverted, and we're going to do what's called mountain and valley folds. So almost like a little W in the center. So let's get decorating it. I cut this piece of Hello Honey 1 3/4 inch by 3 1/2 inch. And as I showed you with the card, I ran it through the lovely lace embossing folder. And this panel is going to fit right on the outside of this card. So I'm going to use my snail, and I'm going to use it generously. I'm going to just eyeball this to kind of get a little border around here. The next thing I did is I cut a 3/4 inch by 1/2 inch piece of designer series paper. And here's a good tip if you don't know it. The Stampin' Up! Hexagon Punch makes wonderful banner tips. Do you see this little point right here? It actually will create the arrow. So I'm going to put this in, and I'm going to eye this point visually up the center of my paper. And all you have to do is lightly squeeze, it'll hold it in place, and then pop it out. I'm adding some adhesive to the back of my banner, and that's going to go on the front panel. I've already done this ahead of time. Whatever image you want to use, you're going to stamp it. I colored mine in, and you're going to trim it really tight because this is a small area. I used the Wild Wasabi ink and a sponge to kind of sponge up my edges with a little bit of color. This piece is going to go up on dimensionals. So that takes care of the outside, but let's talk about the inside. I've cut the flower from the same stamp set. Very tight. Markered it in with the same color markers I used for the bird and for the card I showed you just a minute ago. But this time, this is going to go on what I call the peak. It's going to go here. I found glue dots are the best, so I'm going to be generous with these. I'm going to do 1, 2, and 3. There's nothing more frustrating than when you make a 3D project and it falls apart. So here on the peak, I am going to mount my flower. Now I'm going to lift this and show you. I did not go all the way to the bottom of the crease because I want to leave some room. Last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little something. But any type of candy that you find that will fit will work. couple glue dots, stick this down, and then we have our favor. And then to tie it off, I've used 16 inches of the Calypso Coral Baker's Twine. I'm going to fold it in half because I want to double it. I want to make it a little bit thicker. And that's going to go right through the top of our tag topper. And then we're going to make a bow. That's today's dynamic duo. I look forward to seeing you next week for Make It Monday.